Hello, welcome everybody to the VCT Game Changers Academy, sponsored by Verizon and AIM Labs. Today is the day that we have all been waiting for. We're heading over to finals. I'm Gompers, and I am here today joined by Epitomes and JoJo. Guys, I saw you before. It's really nice to be able to work with you again, but who are we seeing play today?
So today it's going to be Randos versus Dart Monkeys, and we mentioned this before, but Dart Monkeys have been the champions of the VCT Game Changers Academy in the past. So Dart Monkeys, I think, are the favored to win this matchup today, but Randos, they are putting out some pretty good numbers, right, Gompers?
They definitely are. I mean, we did see a map get taken off of them, right? So Randos was able to take that map off of Dart Monkeys, but the question is, having that map being taken off of you, does that change anything? Does that change, your perspective on, okay, Dart Monkeys is going to win this 2-0, and maybe go more towards, well, now I'm not sure.
Well, we have to think about it was in the group stage. It was, round two during the groups where they face each other. So our final is actually from the exact same group, which is kind of fun. But when we think about that map that they ended up dropping, it wasn't just like an 11 to 13, it
Mhm.
wasn't even close. It was 3 to 13. And luckily, I don't think we're going to be seeing this map today. I'm pretty sure Dart Monkeys wanted to get that out of the playing field as fast as possible. But when you're coming into a final matchup with the mindset that the last time that these two teams faced, it was that decisive of a victory for Randos, I think maybe that's going to have some toll on the mental for Dart Monkeys. But that was, 2 days ago, and both of these teams have played plenty of matchups. Between then and now, so I think it's just going to be something we have to wait and see about.
Yeah, but I mean, for a pug team going 3 to 13 against a team that have been going at it together for a while is in itself a victory in my eyes, right? You just come together and all of a sudden you're being the top team in Game Changers Academy. So that is a pretty good deal. But they have been pulling out some pretty great stats, Tala, throughout the tournament. And I mean, does that make you question where Dart Monkey stands?
I mean, I think Dart Monkeys, maybe like if we were watching them yesterday, that very first map that we saw them on stream, maybe you felt like they were underperforming a little bit, but they come back on the second map, which we were very skeptical about because of their win rate on that map, and they end up winning that out pretty decisively with only one round taken off them. So it was maybe they were just getting warmed up when we first saw them, and I think they might be a team that needs to sort of warm up to the game a little bit more. And maybe the fact that it was group stages because they hadn't played a lot of matches at that point, it was just one of those, oh, well, whoops, we weren't really ready for that one, but we'll come back a lot stronger.
Okay, yeah, but I guess, of course we do have to give Dart Monkeys the stage here because they are the reigning champions. You might have lost one map, but now you got to win two. So here we will be heading over to map selection to see what maps we're going to be seeing. JoJo, you said before that we're not going to be seeing the same map that they lost to. So a little bit more hope here for Dart Monkeys.
Absolutely, yeah. So with Dart Monkeys actually receiving that first ban, they very smartly took Bind out of the mix. So
Hmm.
no 3 to 13 on Bind again for them. Randos in turn banned Haven. Their win rate on that map is not ideal. So it was one of the maps that they wanted to get out of there as well. Our first map that we're going to be heading over to is Split with Randos on defense. Next is actually Fracture. Neither of these two teams have played Fracture in this tournament, and for Dart Monkeys, in any of their previous showings. So that's going to be a coin flip. I'm not exactly sure what to expect there. And last but not least, it's going to be Icebox. Dart Monkeys does not have a great win rate on Icebox, but hopefully they've tried some new strats, tried some things out in this tournament, and are more prepared for this final matchup.
Yeah, but it is pretty exciting to see the maps that we're going to be seeing. Fracture in itself is a map that we don't see regularly, but Epitomes, seeing that map come out. Are you excited for Fracture? Or is this a map where you're like, I don't really want to see it?
I mean, Fracture is one of those maps that hasn't technically been quote unquote solved yet. Like, people don't know if they prefer the Raze or the Jet, which seems to be the dilemma on a lot of maps. A lot of maps, like, do you pick Jet or do you pick Raze if you're on a map like Bind? Because Raze has a good niche there, but we don't know that about her on Fracture just yet. And it's which controller is the best one, because you can technically play Omen, Brim, and Astra, and Viper. Any of them could work here, but I think one of the staples of Fracture definitely ends up being the Breach because of how much utility, especially I think Breach and KO. It's usually a double initiator setup on this map, and you don't really know what Sentinel you want either. Chamber is becoming a comfort pick for a lot of Sentinel players for these teams, but I think other ones could definitely work as well. Like Cypher, fallen into a lot of obscurity, especially since the release of Chamber, but he definitely does have some strengths on this map.
I mean, for sure. But here we're moving over to Split. We're going to head into this agent selection in order to see, will Split have its own strong members and agents play with these teams? Of course, Dart Monkeys having Zoe as their coach. I remember a while back we had an interview with them. They said, hey, we're just trying to figure out these strats. We're testing new things out. That was before. So, will we see these strats into action now? Most likely, but we're already seeing this come up here, Jojo.
Yeah, so already lots of lock-ins for the side of Dart Monkeys, and I'm not surprised at all that Bunny has chosen to go for this Raze. It's kind of a risky pick, but when you gotta do it, you gotta do it. The double duelist, at least on the side of Dart Monkeys, not going to be seeing the exact same thing on the side of Randos. A lot of times in this tournament, we have seen mirror compositions, but that is not going to be the case here. Omen, as the chosen controller, again, he has kind of come into his own over Astra, even Viper, who was a staple on this map previously. And Epitomes, you got your wish. We've got a Cypher.
I know. I'm actually very excited about this Cypher. Like, I haven't seen a Cypher in so long, it feels like. And Cypher is actually so strong and also an actual Sentinel. So he can actually hold down these sites very well. And Belle, we saw her play on the Chamber yesterday. She is an absolute beast with the Headhunter as well as the Tour de Force. And she uses Chamber's utility very well, but he just isn't a Sentinel. And they're starting on the defense. While Randos have got the double initiator set up on the other side, they've gone for double duelist, double sentinel, which is just something you do not see at all.
I did want to ask really quickly before I send you guys off, who's going to win? What are your thoughts? Lock them in.
I'm going Dart Monkeys. I have to do it.
Epitomes, what's going on?
You know what? I'll go with Randos. So just so we got like representation on either side.
All right. I'll send you guys off. Let's see who wins this one.
All right. Yeah, and you were mentioning the double duelist, double sentinel, and those are two true sentinels. A lot of times when we see the double sentinel, one of the picks is Chamber, but to see Dart Monkeys completely avoiding that pick is kind of surprising to me.
Yeah, I think I mean, I don't know what strats that they have up their sleeve, but without an initiator, no flashes, except for the Omen Paranoia, which isn't a true flash, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get on these sites, I would reckon, but they do have both Jet and Raze, so hopefully that's able to close the gap a lot quicker, since both of those duelists can make a lot of space here.
And so far, so good for Randos. The read is perfect. There are 4 defenders ready to hold down B side, and that is exactly where Dart Monkeys has brought the spike early in the round. Now they seem to be realizing that maybe B side is not going to be great to hit. Thinking about rotating the spike back around, but mid presence is also very, very vital on a map like Split, and there are 2 players just hanging out in B heaven waiting for the push to come through. And now the spike is going to fully rotate into the hands of just 1 player remaining on that A side. It's going to be Belle, who is the last line of defense, already rendezvousing off-site actually, and pulling out the Headhunter to try and go for some early
30
picks.
seconds left.
You definitely expect some presence, but the rest of the team haven't made the rotations yet. The trademark being triggered means there's definitely the players on the site now, and they've basically just given up for free. No heaven control, though. That nade actually wouldn't have hit the plant spot they were going for, very open in heaven, but they decide to reposition behind elbow. They got to take out Grimoire here. Kay and Shaka are going to be able to take her down. The overgrowth coming back into play to bring these players healthier. And SK, she's spamming some shots down, except she's not able to connect. Bunny Bee is going to be the one to connect with her Sheriff. 2 quick kills on the site. Island is finding 2 of her own. She needs 1 more in a 1v1 situation. Sky V, Jet, and Lana, she's going to pick that one up. First round going to Randos.
Wow, I cannot believe our pistol round was that close. Lana, 7 HP at the end of that. It really was a ton of 1v1s, and I thought Isla had a chance to connect that last shot. But when you're so low HP, any stray bullet is going to make that difference. But there you go. Yeah, first round going to Randos, and they're going to be able to upgrade onto these Spectres and full shields. Isla choosing to buy the Sheriff along with Bunny. That's kind of an interesting purchase after losing that first round, but they're hoping to do some big damage and maybe steal some Spectres out of the hands of Randos.
This is very aggressive from Randos, though. They definitely think that they have the gunpowder advantage, so they're just trying to go in early, actually just fighting for alt orb control. And now all the presence is going towards Heaven. They're really fighting for this. Bunny Bee and Abana, they're actually trading 1 for 1. Oh, let's zipper up the kill feed, but Lana, she's able to find 2. And now it's all up to Grimoire. She doesn't have Spike in her control. And they definitely are thinking about pushing up, but for now it's the dark cover out mid. Try and delay Grimoire's entrance to Heaven. I think she made a little sound there, so they suspect someone's mid. Definitely know she's there now, and Lana is going to take her down for 3.
Big 3K by Lana. Very key player so far in this matchup with that clutch in the pistol round, and then you saw 2 members of Dart Monkeys kind of lining up for her in Heaven, and she fearlessly swung around that corner and sprayed them down with the Spectre to clean up with the 3K. But that is going to mean a full bonus round for Dart Monkeys. Not all of them ended up living, or excuse me, for Randos, and Dart Monkeys going to be upgrading onto the rifle, so this is where they can potentially make their comeback and stop the momentum from getting too far away.
Ooh, Autumn, she's getting pushed on very early, though. She's able to find 1 already, but it's 3 players just trying to make space on the bonus here. They're going to take out the cam and just dip after that, not able to find the early damage they were hoping for, instead losing a life in the process. But it's a B site hit so far. They're leaning towards it. Belle, she rendezvous out after a quick shot on the headhunter, and the backside control is there for Bunny Bee. They're already able to find one, and a spam through the boxes finds the next in sight. It's clear.
There you go, Bunny Bee doing duelist things, running into site and getting those initial 2 picks, and now just down to 2 members of Randos who are left alone. Playing together, so that's at least 1 advantage, but still a 2v5 is a huge ask when you've got these players who are on Spectres and Light Shields. They're about to run into site, which is being defended by 5 post-planters for the side of Dart Monkeys, and that dark cover seem to put a wrench in their plans. They're now going to fully rotate over into backside, and look at where Dart Monkeys is going. They are very confident that at this point the spike cannot be defused, and they are correct to just run and get out of there. And I think this is going to mean the death for those 2 players. Yep, Kay and Ebony's going to go down to the spike. But that is exactly what we expected to happen here. The first round for Dart Monkeys, the better guns, and they just so happened to do it flawlessly.
And now they don't need to reinvest into those guns again, which is an amazing start to this first round that they got on the board here. Bunny Bee actually top of the board for Dart Monkeys, and they've also picked up the showstopper in the process. Lana is very close to those Seekers, and we can see the 4 defenders lined up in garage, really trying to fight for this orb. They want that control over the ultimate economy. SK just throws that slow out there, and it's going to discourage them from trying to pick up that orb. They know there's presence, so SK is holding very passively though. However, Spike down in market, they're creeping up mid with this double duelist setup. The satchels are ready, the showstopper, she isn't able to fire, and Island, she's able to trade 1-for-1 for a fallen teammate, but still, just what a devastating loss of that ultimate.
And this is absolutely going to force Dart Monkeys to get out of that mid location. It has been held down so well by Randos, and now they're going to come face to face with Bell again. The first few shots do miss. Bell able to get out with 70 HP left just due to that rendezvous. And what is that? The wall coming up a little bit too late to save Isla from certain death. Okay, continuing to push on, but brave positioning from Autumn gonna stop that spray down, and they just barely passed each other. Lana, the awareness to swing around and get that final kill. But what a great round from Randos. They held down mid so well and then performed this retake perfectly.
I suppose this is also a defender-sided map, but now they have 3 ultimates available, and even with Ivana's down for that last retake, they still have a Rolling Thunder available, and the last retake still went very well without the presence of that initiator, and that is the strength of those double initiators here. And now they still have money to buy into the rifles on the side of Dart Monkeys, but they also have the Blade Storm available for Island, so we can fully expect that she will pop that and try to make a lot more space, be more aggressive. But Bell, the Tour de Force, is going to be the counter.
Tour de Force forced off of that angle by the perfectly placed grenade by Bunny, and now Ebony is going to spray down this mid location, but it's a little bit too late. We've already got 2 players crossing over into ropes, and they have the potential to continue into A Heaven, where again it is just Bell holding that location. I think Bunny is hungry for at least one pick. They know that there is someone waiting in B Heaven, and if Shaka were to swing this, Bunny is holding that angle with their life. But still, it feels like a stalemate in mid. We're trying to figure out where Dart Monkeys are going, and they've finally dedicated their attentions towards B, but Shaka is ready for it. We do have Paranoia coming out. Nothing can be capitalized on it, but that doesn't matter because now their exact presence is known. Rolling Thunder, Ebony's seeing all of this action, 72 HP, but secures that first pick onto Bunny, and it's a big one.
30 seconds left.
Bunny B now gone. They're kind of left flailing, don't know where to go. It's a pinch in mid. They might have a pathway onto that B site, but they're caught out. Ivana is able to find 2. Autumn, though, from main. She finds the trades, and now they do have that A site, and she pulls out the Neural Theft as well, just to sniff out the remaining defenders, knows exactly where they are, takes this aggressive position, knows that one is going Heaven, but she misses the shot, and she leaves it up to Gromar, who's also trying to take that aggressive peek. Unfortunately misses the first shot, is able to secure 1 consolation kill, but still is the defuse for the side of Randos.
So far, so good for Randos on the defensive side. Looking at their composition, I was not expecting them to be this good on defense, considering it was actually Dart Monkeys with that double Sentinel setup. But they are making these retakes work. Their past 4 wins on defense have been defuses, and one of them being a clutch, but the other ones being really well coordinated attacks together to retake that site. So this is going to force Dart Monkeys onto kind of a weird buy. They do have 2 rifles in hand, but everyone else is on a Spectre, and Randos are looking a-okay in terms of their economy.
Rando's definitely building up some good money here, but now this is a different strategy from Dart Monkeys. They're taking Heaven first instead of Sight. They fire some pot shots at Belle and she rendezvous out, but Ibanez, she's come to back them up. Bunny B is able to find one, but Kay, just a spray down from Heaven. They have the Sight. They still need to clear out Ibanez though. It pulls out the Aftershock. Oh my god, what a shrouded step in Ibanez. Just that anchor and elbow to hold it down for Randos.
And that is the power of a Breach player on this map. A well-called timeout for the side of Dart Monkeys. They kind of Hail Married there. They wanted to get something going, changing their strat by running directly into Heaven. But it seems like it doesn't matter where they come from. Randos is absolutely ready to stop any aggression. And these players, Ibanez, Lana, they are making their names known and they're not leaving it all to the duelist player.
Yeah, I think this is a really nice, I mean, initiators a lot of the time, they put them in there as some sort of aggressive substitute for those duelists. So instead of someone who is hyper mobile, they just have a lot of utility that forces you out of positions. Raze is sort of similar to an initiator in that way because she can force people out of the positioning with her paint shells, with the boom buddy that finds a lot of information as well. But she's also got that hyper mobility that the initiators don't have. So randos have this really nice team composition, especially on those retakes. So as long as they don't lose too many players before they start the retakes on the site, usually they are very successful.
I do tend to dislike timeouts being called right before a full save round, but hopefully Dart Monkeys was able to discuss what they want to do on their next buy round. But right now they've got 5 sheriffs in hand, and Kay looking to get aggressive. Trailblazer does come out, and I think that did stun Bunny, and now Kay maintaining this aggression and securing that kill. The paranoia was not enough to get a trade out, and so far it is just mid presence that Dart Monkeys has in their favor. They still have plenty of time in the round, but randos again ready to pounce at any sign of weakness. It's Autumn who needed to connect some of those sheriff shots, but Ibanez ready for it, even stuck with the util out, getting that headshot. And Lana in mid does not see anyone, but there are 2 players. We're thinking about pushing up in SK with that first pick. That is the pick that they need. It's still going to be very difficult in a 2v4. And now that Grim has such low HP. Luckily, SK has the heal available and does have a resurrection, but I don't think that either should be really invested in this round, and waiting another 35 seconds for the heal is out of the picture.
Yeah, they only have 2 players left, and while they still have both ultimates, it's just not worth it at this point. They have so little time. They do have Spike, but it's so hard to clear things out as a sentinel and a controller in this amount of time. So the only thing they can really hope to do is pick up a gun, do some economic damage, maybe even a save might be called for SK here, especially Grimoire going down, trying to do some damage. Not even the first shot. Ibanez is able to take her down.
I was not expecting a lead this large so early on. We're already at 6-1, and the only round that we see going to the side of Dart Monkeys was that round 3 where they clearly had a gun advantage, and maybe that's what they need to do again, but at this point it's going to be very difficult to break down the economy of randos. They are looking absolutely fine, and in fact, Belle is feeling so secure that they went ahead and purchased the operator. So I don't know if this B site push is going to be beneficial because that operator is there. Kay having the showstopper ready, but it's Autumn after getting stunned, ready to fight back, and suddenly we've got even numbers.
I mean, Autumn really playing off the utility there, and it's huge with the resurrection for Bunny Bee. Now they're back in the game, and they're prepared for this B site take. Belle has been forced out of position, so it's a little bit of an awkward angle for that operator. The paranoia is huge, though. Shaka with the spray down on 2. Can she find the 3rd? She does! And it's all left up to Grimoire once again, but Belle, she repositions with the op, and that's it for Dart Monkeys. It's all she wrote.
What a fast round yet again coming out from Randos on defense. They didn't even really need the operator. I mean, they were just ready for the aggression, for the hits from Dart Monkeys. And when you think about what Dart Monkeys can kind of do differently, because they're at this point in the perpetual cycle of a save buy, they have to make something work on their buy rounds. I don't know, maybe a default. They've tried to be patient, but they just end up getting cornered, and it's not a good look for them.
But off down B main. So now they just have a nice gun there. And Island in a good position from Sewers as well. They're able to pick up a lot of guns off this aggression from Randos. A huge overextension on their part. Ibanez, she's here to clean up the mess. Finds one, SK's down, pulls out the aftershock to try and escape. But Bunny Bee is quicker to the trigger, and now it's all left up to Shaka. She's made some work with this paranoia before. A spray down though, a 4-person spray down. Is it possible? She doesn't see anyone while they're blind, and a thrifty round comes out for the side of Dart Monkeys after that last shot from Autumn. Well played.
Definitely well played, and we have to think about what did Dart Monkeys do well there. I think they initiated a level of chaos that Randos was not expecting. Randos got a little bit too comfortable rolling along in these rounds, kind of seeing it as easy pickings, but suddenly when you get a Marshall headshot and suddenly you are down to 4 and then 3 and then 2, and then there's all of this presence in mid that you just cannot stop alone, that is when you start to get messy. So I think Randos needs to kind of reconsolidate what they are thinking. They do not want to get too aggressive, because that is where they have the potential to give this directly back into Dart Monkey's favor.
Yeah, I definitely think you're right there. They were very, very comfortable pushing. They got too overconfident, and now they're playing a lot further back. Lana isn't even risking the direct peek down B main after getting shut down so fast. But now Kay, she's going aggressive, and once again, it's that overextension. There's no one to trade. The guiding light was thrown from far too far back. But the showstopper coming out, it actually misses, and Bunny Bee is left in the sightlines of many players. She gets the dink on Lana, but it's just not enough to finish her off. And now the B site, it seems like a no-go, but Island, they've still got their other duelists online, and she's just B-hopping onto that A site without a care.
You can tell that at this point, Dart Monkeys is kind of coming into their own. They're feeling it a little bit more, and with one player, Lana, down to low HP, this is kind of a round that Ibanez has to clutch unless they're going to call a full save. That is the last piece of utility that Ibanez has in her back pocket. Lana does have Seekers, but I don't think it would be a smart investment in this round. With Grimoire holding this tight angle, 10 HP, very easy to spray down. And Ibanez has to make a decision here. Is this 4K retake attempt even worth it? And considering the spike is already taken down so far, the peak was all she could do, but Grim, ready for it again, securing the 2K on the round and giving a 3rd round to Dart Monkeys.
Dart Monkeys, they're doing well for themselves now. They finally found their stride, and it's a little bit after Randos decide to secure themselves that 7th round. So even when they turn over the sides, Dart Monkeys are going to start at a little bit of a disadvantage. And keep in mind, it is their own map pick. So it's a rough start for sure, but now they've built up that economy. They don't have any ultimates available though, and that can be a big game changer in a rifle round like this. Now starting onto the A site, they've thrown the paint shells to try and clear out the front of heaven. They've lulled offense as well. Bell, what a shot with that rendezvous rendezvous. She just rendezvoused right next to her. And Kay, she's trying to back her up, but it's all red on the kill feed. Shaka, though, she rings back with the judge. And Kay, she gets the dink onto Grimoire as well. So devastatingly low, and Autumn just not looking the right direction with that operator. So Randos, they bring it back.
Last round.
They do bring it back, but it was closer than I expected it to be. I think if that judge did not get the collateral damage like we saw in mid, I think it could have been a completely different story, but a 2v2 can 100% go either way. And at that point, it was Dart Monkeys who had to play for objective and get the spike planted. But coming into this last round of the half, we've got plenty of ultimates to be used. Isla with the Blade Storm have not seen her pop off with it yet, but Belle and Lana also with their ultimates. I think the Seekers could be really great for just finding out where exactly Dart Monkeys is planning on commencing their attack.
Look at the setup from Dart Monkeys, though. They've got Autumn with the spike all the way on the other side of the map, but Isla, she's already all the way up, and she's taken a lot of damage from that judge. They've got the Sage, though, so they can't worry about bringing her up to full soon. But Lana, also with the overgrowth, she is trying to bring her teammates up to full as well. Island picking up the heal. Bunny Bee, however, she's also been brought down low and just spammed through the smoke. She goes down.
Lana is being extremely fearless, and this is where we see Lana start to pop off. Is she is holding that angle, peeking at the exact right time and getting a lot of information and even getting a pick there. But now the rotate's going to come through from Dart Monkeys. They do not want to continue pushing into Lana's garage, and they have rotated through towards mid, and Autumn actually going to be pushing through sewer. But so far, this hit rotating directly into ropes, and with that first pick from Belle with the operator, all of the rest of Dart Monkey is going to be forced to push into the Headhunter.
10 seconds.
Time is ticking. Looks like it's going to be too low. SK trying her best to get something done, but with 5 seconds on the clock, nothing could be.
Yeah, they really stalled out for time at the very end. Just very indecisive in the mid round, and then once it gets to the late round, there just isn't enough time left. And it also seemed like a last-minute decision for Island to be popping that Blade Storm as well, because now in the last round, they are broke. They don't have the Blade Storm. They don't have a single ultimate, actually, because they just switched over sides. I just actually brain farted there. I realized that it is a 9-3, and the sides have been switched now, but the last minute decision to pop the Blade Storm, they just really stalled out. Their best bet, if they were going to use that ultimate, was to go as hard and fast as possible onto one side or the other, but they got really split up, especially Autumn in a main there. But now, switching over the sides, they've got 2 Sentinels, so this is a very strong hold for the side of Dart Monkeys, but caught out is SK. Grimoire is there to back her up. She picks up one, but the guiding light blinds them both.
Lana trying to get snazzy with that one, but now we actually have a wall that's preventing the escape, and Ibanez wanting to capitalize on it. That's exactly what we see. Last 2 members of the defense are in heaven. I don't know if Belle knows that Isla's there, but it doesn't matter. Lana is holding the perfect angle and secures that final headshot. What a funky wall that actually prevented 2 members of Dart Monkeys from escaping and maybe repositioning for a better retake opportunity. But either way, a great start for Randos. That is their pistol round, and that is going to be double digits with a 7-round lead. I don't exactly know why Ibanez has called this timeout, because so far their side is looking perfectly fine, but sometimes that double digit does give you a mental block where you just are so scared of the other team trying to fight their way back in, and deciding how to finish this map up, I think, is going to be key.
Well, this is definitely very rough. I mean, Ibanez calling this timeout might actually be good for Dart Monkeys, because now they have to decide whether or not they want to buy into this next round, whether or not they want to force and like really exhaust the bank. because they've hit double digits now. They don't want to let them get any further than that. But if they do buy into it and they lose, then Randos are still at 11, and then they're forced to go to match point because they're going to be on a save and they just won't have much gunpowder to contend with it. So this is a tough situation for Dart Monkeys to be in right now on their own map pick. And what happened that last round, it was really funky because they had a strong A site hold, and on the B site there was a lot of focus on garage, so mid just left uncontested, and mid is so important for split. But now they're headed up. Oh my god, what a shot from Autumn though, okay? Not getting to use that judge. It's the Guardian from Belle though. She rendezvous out. Autumn's able to find one. Lana, she's trying to spray back with the Spectre, but the answer is apparently Dart Monkeys. It's Dart Monkeys all the way.
I hated the buy from Dart Monkeys there. I thought they absolutely should have forced up in that second round to prevent an 11th round going to Randos, but they absolutely made it work there between the Sheriff headshot and all of the action that was just happening in that Heaven location on A. It did end up working out for them. They had one player left standing, so maybe it was down to luck or chance, but either way, they're going to still have to make this 6-round comeback, or at least make it close if they have the hope of winning their map pick.
Now, incredibly interesting hold by Dart Monkeys. They have both the Sentinels on this site, the Cypher setup as well as the Sage. They're trying to go Heaven now. They realize A main is a no-go. Island is able to find two though, and it's a save buy from the side of Randos, but Ivana is still making it work with two with the Frenzy. Now the Paranoia onto K, spamming through. K goes down. It's all left up to Ivana's, and they know exactly where she is. She's booking it away with this spike through vents. They hear the sound cues, but now she slows it down as she walks through sewers, knowing there might be one in main. However, Dart Monkeys, they're not making the rotations. They're sitting still, sitting pretty until they hear that spike plant.
This is a brilliant move on defense by Dart Monkeys. They know that re-hits are being more common, and SK holding this angle, but it's not enough, brings Ibanez to 3 HP. Now, she has the Rolling Thunder in hand to potentially stop a post plant, but yep, she has to get onto site first, and Grimoire is not gonna let that happen alongside Autumn. So a great read, I would say, by Dart Monkeys. Typically in those defensive rounds where you've lost sight of the last man standing and they have possession of the spike, they're going to get as far away from that action as possible. But a great try either way from Ibanez. They are being very smart in this game, but looked like Dart Monkeys wasn't going to let that one slip by them again. Coming in here, we do got a full buy from both sides. Isla, in fact, on an operator. It's going to be a glass buy, and so far, so good, taking down Lana early on. That is a great pick. No heal left for the side of Randos.
I am such a big fan of how SK and Isla are playing this mid and putting down that wall after the fact. They're gonna have to expend a lot of bullets to take it down, and they know that there are players there now, and they're just waiting for something to happen. I mean, Belle, she's creeped up pretty far into A main, but that's going to be held by Autumn, and Autumn, very patient defender here, so she's just going to wait on that Cypher cam, wait for some sort of noise. But it said all the presence going towards mid once again. There's a very heavy defender presence on that B site, but with the help of the Rolling Thunder, it's going to force them off. The paint shells are trying to make some space here, and it's actually the paint shells to kill Bunny Bee. Island, though, she pulls out the Blade Storm off the back of that kill on the operator, and she's just holding on the ramps. However, they're still trying to aggress B. There's 30 seconds left. Shaka goes down with the help of a single knife, takes out the operator once again, just ahead of Belle. Could render her dead, but SK, she's watching for her teammate. Island takes out the Blade Storm once again, 5 HP in a dream, but she gets it done.
and that is the play that we were expecting to see out of Isla early on with that operator and with the Blade Storm, making that round absolutely her own. The 4K is nothing to shake your head at, and teammate Aske really saved her life there. I mean, I thought that positioning from Kay was absolutely brilliant, and if Kay got the drop on her, it could have gone the other way. But here we go, forcing Rando's on another save. They've got Sheriffs. We've seen a 50 round so far, but that was actually in favor of Dart Monkeys, and Isla feeling comfortable on that operator at this point in the match does not bode well for Rando's attack.
Also able to pick up the ult orb, so Resurrection well on its way. The guiding light goes through Heaven. Bunny Bee just avoids it completely, and it was a late engage off that information, so Bunny Bee takes down one. Now the paint shells to delay a little further. Island does miss that first operator shot. Bunny Bee goes aggressive. She's able to hop out after getting flashed by the flashpoint, and Island, she's just going huge with the operator. However, Fence left undefended. On the other side, there is that Cypher tripwire, but taken down by Bell. Autumn's able to connect the headshot. However, A-site, very weak defense as of right now.
Weak defense, but I would not count Autumn out. Calling for a little bit of reinforcement, but maintaining that presence in Heaven, that is going to be the operator down and out. But there was support alongside Isla in Heaven. It's gonna be Grim. Instead, Ibanez and teammate K are gonna rotate over and directly into the crosshair of Bunny. Ibanez again, like the last one standing, picks up the rifle, but the time pressure was too much, and Autumn securing that last kill. We are seeing a comeback here, Tala.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge comeback coming from the side of Dart Monkeys. They also did start on the attack, and it was the side of Randos that decided to choose the defense. Both of them knowing full well that Split was a defender-sided map, and it's a lot easier to defend on the defense. So, oh gosh, sometimes I say words and they don't really make sense, but now they are on that full buy. They have the Seekers available. They're very close to a lot of ultimates, both the Tour de Force as well as that from the Shadows, but now they're trying to push into B. Grimoire, what a positioning from her. Unfortunately, the Flashpoint is stronger than the Paranoia, and Ibanez wins out the gunfight. So now SK left alone on B. Isla turning around from Heaven to defend from Raptors along with that operator. But now once again, it's the Vent's presence, right, from the side of Randos, but they're always met with that tripwire. It gives away their position. Autumn lets them know that there's someone down there, and now it's a stall out from Randos in mid.
It is a stall out. I'm very surprised to see just one player. It's going to be Bunny consistently holding that A site, and it is always better to try and figure out where the fewer defenders are. But this time, Dart Monkeys rotating over towards A, maybe? Oh, it looks like Isla was just trying to reposition with that operator. 30 seconds on the clock. We have to see something quickly from Randos. The initial off shot does not do anything, and Seekers is going to force Dart Monkeys off of sight. Aske trying to hold down backside there, but everything is looking up for Randos. It's just going to be down to Autumn and Isla in mid. Bell, oh, that was an unlucky push from Bell. I do not think she expected the operator to be there in mid, but now a retake with an operator is not easy at all, especially when you are getting pinched from both sides. Isla with another operator shot. Finally, Ibanez takes down that operator, but a 1v2. Time is ticking. Autumn has to do something, and I think she's just gonna run away with operator in hand.
Yeah, she definitely wants to save that weapon for Isla. I mean, it's helped her do a lot for this team, giving her 17 kills on the board. Autumn does have that neural theft ready for the next round as well, and I believe this Dart Monkey squad is going to be fine in terms of economy, and they can just buy back into those guns. And on the other side, Randos, they're building up some economy for themselves as well. They've got 3 ultimates on the board, 1 away from the shadows as well. But the Showstopper and Rolling Thunder, those are the big ones for this next round. It's really going to help them with this site take. And it seems like they're finding more success on B as long as they pressure from different points of the map, pick off these defenders one by one, because more often than not, they do find themselves isolated. Tour de force being popped. Oh gosh, boom buddies activating each other. Just an engagement in mid, an interaction.
Little dance party, you know how it is with the boom bots, constantly blasting those good tunes. But yeah, stalemate happening at this point. We do have more of a stack on B, and that is a good read from Dart Monkeys, but now the rotation from Randos is likely going to be unexpected by Dart Monkeys. They continuously try and push out through mid, and all of this mid aggression is going to indicate to Dart Monkeys that, oh my gosh, they're going to push directly into B heaven. Finally, K getting the kill with the Showstopper, and it is a big one. Taking SK down and out. That is no more heal, but Bunny with a Showstopper of their own.
Oh my goodness.
What are these picks? The entire team of Dart Monkeys is popping off. Isla with the operator kills, and Grim with some nasty headshots. This is an 8th round to Dart Monkeys. They are not letting Randos even get 2 in a row.
Yeah, they put in the Rolling Thunder and the Showstopper as well as the Tour de Force. Every single ultimate that they had available, they expended only for them to not even be able to get an inch, not even like a pinky toe onto that site. Isla now picking up the Blade Storm and Resurrection available for SK as well. That's a powerful combo that needs to be watched out for. The Neural Theft and from the Shadows, some passive information gathering, but this is really nice from SK. What a shot through that smoke to pick up 2 for herself and just back off onto the site without a single point of damage being taken. Grimoire, now it's her turn to peek. She spots the legs of Shaka, she finds 2, and it's just Grimoire and SK all the way. They're holding down this B main like pros, and Belle, she's going to try and find more with the Headhunter, but SK shuts it down.
And it was a brilliant hold from SK. That is the exact type of Sentinel presence you want to see on your defensive half. And suddenly I am realizing why Dart Monkeys opted for that double Sentinel play. They've got consistent Cypher utility for Autumn over on A setup every single round. And with them putting SK on B site, both sites are being held down very, very well. So Rando's push in mid seems like a good idea because there's not as much slow utility or things to stop the aggression, but with that operator still being on the playing field, it is still difficult to try and gain any space anywhere.
Now, I mean, mid has been left undefended because Grimoire and SK fight so hard for Garage that they basically leave mid alone, but because they have that trip in vents, makes it a lot easier to gain info on where they are, but it's just very passive in mid. They're not fighting for it because usually it's the Sage Wall, right, that is blocking off the mid area, but instead they just leave it be. And we actually see that Bunny Bee backs off Heaven, so they just leave it open, but instead they go for that A site lean. Oh, Belle actually activates the trip, and Island trying to find a peek through the smoke. It doesn't do anything. The op shot doesn't find any damage, but she does take some herself. Bunny Bee wins the gunfight with Belle, however, so they've taken down that Sentinel. Autumn, she's trying to peek around, clear the ramps. They just need to check this high angle from Shaka, and oh, one shot does it. Grimoire is able to find the kill, but oh, the paint shells. Grimoire finds two, actually. And Ibanez, she's trying to hold an elbow, but Lana is going to be the one to find the kill onto that operator player. They've made it a 1v2 situation, even with the resurrection in play. And Lana, she takes 3 for finally match point.
I think we are seeing where randos do have their advantage, and that is in the post-plant ability. With that resurrection, as you said, I think it was a 5v3, maybe even a 5v2, and we still saw it work out for randos with 2 left alive in the end, 2 to gang up on Autumn and finally take her down. So with just 1 round that they need to win to bring us into map 2 with them having advantage, I think as long as they get that spike planted and they stop waiting for the time to tick down so far, they are going to be in good shape.
Bunny Bee is just taking pretty risky peeks in the mid here, but it just seemed like the defending side, they overheated in that last round. Kay, she pushes up so far. Leg shot from Island to get Kay down to 24 health. Overgrowth, that's going to nullify most of it and be able to bring her back to full, no shields. And Belle, she's trying to signal to her team, come A. Because of how slow these pushes have been from randos thus far, early rounds, the tempo is just very, very slow. They basically never trigger these tripwires. Shaka, she's already on the site now though, and she, from the shadows, she's able to clear out the entirety of elbow and force people to back off the site. SK, she's the first to go in. Autumn has the refrag for her at least, but Island, she takes so much damage from Heaven. Autumn, she finds Stu and the neural theft activated as well. Belle, nice shot from the ramps to take down the operator, but Grimoire, she narrows it down and it's all left up to Belle. Spike is planted for her, but the spammed shots and Autumn takes a peek for a 3K, and they allow themselves to stay in the game just a little longer.
Dart Monkeys executing that retake so well, even after being surprised at what happened with that from the shadows. That peak and full swing into backside was certainly unexpected, but it didn't matter. They coordinated their retake together anyway, and despite a lot of members on both sides falling, it was down to that 2v1, and this is going to force randos onto another weird, funky, mixed by Sheriff, Spectre, Bulldog, and Frenzy. I don't really know what's going on with them. I think they're just trying to make something happen. They have secured a thrifty round previously, but Isla still on the operator. This is going to be a bloodbath in B Garage. And that Frenzy does actually take down SK, completely unexpected. Grimoire taking a ton of damage there as well. Belle following up with the Headhunter headshot onto Bunny. And this is actually man advantage to randos.
Oh, that was definitely an overheat from SK and Bunny B in B main. And now Kay, she's actually able to get a sizable chunk of damage onto Autumn. But on the other side, it's the execute going out with the Seekers. Island, she's still there, but they've made it a 1v3 situation. And she's got an operator. If they're able to get the spike down on a site, it's going to be an absolutely devastating round for Island. Maybe able to pick up a Vandal, though Autumn's body is still there. Needs to clear out Heaven, has a shorty in hand as well. But this is such a tough situation already.
This is very, very tough, especially when you've got the shorty. I mean, Lana is low, but now Shaka spots out where Isla is coming from. Still has shorty in hand. We need some quick scope pop shots, and it's not going to happen. Isla, who tried so hard to make that work for her team, was honestly the MVP with the operator throughout the course of that half. Just could not clutch that 1v3, and map 1 goes to randos. It was certainly closer than I thought it was going to be, Tala.
I mean, when at the beginning you have randos collecting round after round after round, and dart monkeys cannot get in a single word edgewise, and it's their own map pick, it just looks really, really unfortunate for their team because if they're unable to even get a single round, well, they had one round, but after that, they're finding it very hard to find their footing on their own map pick. It's just so devastating. And then on when they switch over the sides, they just didn't have enough going for them, especially in that last round. I think they were feeling very confident about their defense, as they should be, but they were definitely overheating a little bit with those peaks in Garage because usually you have them peaking together, but you can't let themselves get isolated. And Bunnybee was trying really hard to trade there with that aggressive satchel in, but Bell shut it down so quickly with that Headhunter. And it's just first map going to randos, really well played. It also is a difference of team compositions too, though, because you have randos who have that aggressive team composition, the double initiators, the flashes. You can really push really far, but on the other side, they had the double duelists, but they didn't have the amount of support that you would need to go in behind those duelists. So now we are headed to the second map of Fracture, which is Rando's map pick, Jojo.
It is Rando's map pick, but neither of these two teams have played it previously. So, if my prediction is correct, I don't really know if either of them have a lot of practice on this map. Maybe they thought it was just kind of a map that was going to get banned later, but instead it was actually selected. And I don't know if it's going to bring a level of chaos that could maybe give Dart Monkeys the advantage, or if Randos has some sneaky plays, but we will be back in just a short while to show you some of that action on Fracture. See you soon.
I want all your soul, I want your body. I'm the type that licks her play clean.